Hello, I am Dr. Shigar Kanti. In this video, let us define group and verify the set with respect to some operation is a group or not. Okay, let us define a group. So group is, so here suppose let G be a non-empty set. G be a non-empty set and star be an operation defined on G. Okay, G be a non-empty set and star be an operation defined on G. Then G is called a group if the following axioms are satisfied. Okay, G be a non-empty set and star be an operation defined on G, then G is called a group if the following axioms are satisfied. What are those axioms? The first axiom is closure law. First axiom is closure law. Closure law is if A and B are any two elements belongs to G, then this must imply A star B also belongs to G. This is true for all AB. Okay, all AB belongs to G. This is the first condition, first axiom. If A and B are any two elements of G, then A star B must be an element of G. Then we say that closure law is satisfied, or we say that G is closed with respect to the operation star. This is the first axiom. And the second axiom is associative law. Associative law. What is associative law? For all A, B, C in G, A star of B star C must be equal to A star B star C. This is the second axiom. This also must be satisfied. This is the second axiom. And the third axiom is identity axiom. Identity axiom or identity law. Identity axiom. Identity axiom is there exists an element E in G. Exists an element E in G, and we call this element as called the identity element. Identity element. And this E is such that A star E equal to E star A, E is equal to A. This must be true for all A belongs to G. This is the third axiom. And the fourth axiom is inverse axiom. Inverse axiom. So the inverse axiom is for all A belongs to G, there exists an element denoted by denoted like this, denoted by A to the power of -1. Okay, I will denote this element by a to the power of minus 1. And we call this as inverse of A, and is such that A star A inverse is equal to A inverse star A. This is equal to E. E is the corresponding identity element. Okay. So these are the 4 axioms. Then we say that it is a group. That is let G be a non-empty set and star be an operation defined on G. Then G is called a group if the following axioms are satisfied. Those 4 axioms are, first one is the closure law. Closure law must be satisfied. That is A comma B belongs to G implies A star B also belongs to G. Second one is the associative law. For all A, B, C belongs to G, A star of B star C must be equal to A star B star C. Associative law must hold in this group. And third one is the identity axiom. That is, in G there exists an element. We usually denote this by E. And we call this E as the identity element. And E is such that A star E equal to E star A equal to A. This is true for all A belongs to G. This is the identity axiom. And the last one is inverse axiom. That is, for all A belongs to G, there exists an element, and we denote that element by A to the power of minus 1. And we call this A to the power of minus 1 as the inverse of A, and is such that A star A inverse equal to A inverse star A is equal to E. If these 4 conditions are satisfied, axioms are satisfied, then we say that G is a group. And we denote this by, if this is a group, then the notation for this, we usually write like this. So within a bracket G comma star, that's pairwise. G is the non-empty set and star is the corresponding operation. Okay, or simply we write G is a group. And here in addition to these 4 conditions, 4 axioms, if commutative law holds, commutative law holds. What is commutative law? That is, A star B is equal to B star A. This is true for all A and B belongs to this. If this condition, this is the additional condition, so we take this as a 5th condition, 5th axiom. If this is also satisfied, then we say that then G is called abelian. This is known as abelian group. Okay. So if only 4 conditions are satisfied, then we say that it is a group. If 5th condition is also satisfied, if the commutative law holds in G, then we say that G is an abelian group. Now here, if only first 2 conditions are satisfied, if only 192, so that 192 are closure and associative. If only these 2 conditions are satisfied, then we say that G is a semi-group. So that is here. For semi-group, first 2 conditions are satisfied. That is, only if the closure law is satisfied and the associative law holds, then we say that G is a semi-group. If 4 axioms are satisfied, then you say that it is a group. If 5 axioms are satisfied, that is including the commutative law, then you say that it is a abelian group. So therefore here, if G is abelian, abelian group, then is this a group? Yes, definitely it is a group. Because here in abelian group 5 conditions are satisfied. Okay, If G is abelian group, then G is a group, right? Because here abelian group means 5 conditions are satisfied, 5 axioms are satisfied. Group means only 4 axioms are satisfied. That is, if G is abelian, 5 conditions are satisfied. That means here in G, all the 4 conditions, 4 axioms are of a group are satisfied. Therefore, every abelian group is a group. And here, if G is a group, then G is a semi-group. Okay, because here 4 axioms are satisfied, and in semi-group 2 axioms are satisfied. So that's 4 axioms satisfied means that 4 axioms are satisfied here. Therefore, it is a semi-group. That means here abelian group is a group, and a group is a semi-group. Okay, so that is, if G is abelian, then it is a group. If it is a group, then it is a semi-group. But the converse is not true here. Every semi-group need not be a group, and every group need not be abelian group. Okay, and here G is a non-empty set. Okay, G is a non-empty set, and star is an operation defined on G. Then G may consisting of finite number or infinite number. Okay, infinite number of elements. G may consisting of finite number of elements, or G may consisting of infinite number of elements. So if G consisting of finite number of elements, then you say that the group is a finite group. And if G consisting of infinite element, then you say that it is a infinite group. Okay. Now here G number of elements in G is finite, then you say that it is a finite group, and if it is infinite, then you say that it is the infinite group. The number of elements in G denoted by O of G, and we call this as the order of G. That is, order of G is the number of elements in the group G. If G is finite group, then order of G is finite. If G is infinite group, then order of G is infinite. Okay. Now let us go to some examples. First example is verify n comma plus is a group. N comma plus. So here we have, what is n? N is the set of natural numbers. That is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 up to infinity. Right? And order of n is equal to infinity. This is infinite set. Now to verify that this is a group, I have to verify that all the 4 axioms are satisfied. Okay. Now let me go one by one. First one, closure law. So here let A and B are any 2 elements belong to elements. A and B are any 2 natural numbers. If A and B are any 2 natural numbers, then what is the operation here? Plus is the operation. A plus B also belongs to n. That is, closure law is satisfied. First axiom is satisfied. What about the second one? It is associative law. For associative law, let me take A, B, C belongs to N. Then I can write A plus B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. In any manner you can add, we get the same answer here. That is adding B and C, then adding with A, or adding A and B and then adding with C. Both are same here. So this is also true. That is second axiom is also satisfied. Associative law holds. And here, see, we can observe that 0 is an element belongs to N here. 0 is an element belongs to N. And 0 acts as the identity element because A plus 0 equal to 0 plus A is equal to A. This is true for all A belongs to N. So that means here this 0 is acting as the identity element. Identity also there in N. This is the third one is identity axiom. Okay, identity axiom. Three axioms are satisfied. What about the fourth one? Fourth one is the inverse axiom. Fourth one is inverse axiom. So here let me take A is any element belongs to N, and suppose there exists inverse of this A inverse be the inverse of A. Then by the definition A star A inverse equal to A inverse star A equal to E. So here what is my E here? Here my E equal to 0. Identity element is 0 here. Now A star A inverse. Star means plus here. Let me write A inverse. This must be called identity. That is 0. So what this implies here is A inverse equal to, taking this onto the right hand side, A onto the right hand side here, 0 minus A is minus A. Okay. Minus A is the inverse of A with respect to the given operation. If this element belongs to N, no. Here, this is not an element of N. That means here, inverse of each element does not exist in N. So therefore here, N is not a group. Right? This is not a group. If this is semi-group, yes, it is a semi-group because closure law is satisfied here. Closure law is satisfied and associative law also holds. That is, these two conditions are satisfied. So therefore here N is a semi-group. Okay, N is a semi-group. Next I will go to another example, Z comma plus. Another example, Z comma plus. Second example, Z comma plus. We verify whether this Z comma plus is a group or not. What is Z? Z is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3 up to infinity, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3 up to minus infinity. This is our Z. Now first one, closure law. Closure law. Let A and B or any two elements belongs to Z. Then can I write A plus B also belongs to Z? Definitely I can write, because here A is an integer, B is an integer. Then addition of two integers is again an integer. So therefore this belongs to Z. Closure law is satisfied. What about the associative law? Associative. This is also very simple. No need to prove anything here. Directly we can write. See, if A, B, C belongs to Z, then can I write A plus B plus C equal to A plus B plus C? Yes, we can write. Because addition or whatever may be the order of addition here, adding B and C and then with A, or adding A and B then with C, both are same. We are getting the same answer here. So therefore here associative law is also satisfied. And third one, Third one is the identity axiom. So here we can observe in the set that 0 belongs to Z, and with respect to addition, 0 is the identity. 0 is the identity element because we have a plus 0 equal to 0 plus a is equal to a. This is true for all a belongs to Z. So 0 is the identity. So that is identity element exists here. 0 is the identity. What about the inverse here? So here inverse axiom. Now here if A belongs to Z, that is if A is positive, then it is a positive integer. If A is a positive integer, then what is minus A? Minus A is a negative integer, and this belongs to Z. This is also an integer. If A is positive, minus A is negative. If A is negative, minus A is positive. That is, in general we can write if A belongs to Z, minus A also belongs to Z. And then if I write A plus of minus A equal to minus A plus A, what I am getting the answer here? This is equal to 0. And this is our identity element. So therefore here inverse of each element exists. Minus A is the inverse of A, or we say that A is the inverse of minus A. Okay. So that is here inverse of each element exists. Therefore we say that Z comma plus is a group. Z comma plus is a group. Is this abelian group? Is this abelian group? That what about the commutative law? Commutative law. So here I will write A plus B. Can I write A plus B equal to B plus A? Yes, definitely A plus B and B plus A both are same here. So that is commutative law is satisfied. So therefore Z comma plus is an abelian. This is an abelian group, right? That is Z comma plus is an abelian group. Next I will go to another example. Third example, Q comma plus. What is Q here? Q is the set consisting of the elements of this form P by Q, where P and Q belongs to Z and Q is not equal to 0. That is the set of the form P by Q where P and Q are integers and the denominator is not equal to 0. Okay. Then we say that this is the set of rational numbers. We have to verify whether this is a group or not. So first one, closure law. So let A comma B belongs to Q. Then if A is a rational number, then A is of this form P1 by Q1 and B is also of the form say P2 by Q2 where P1, P2, Q1, Q2 they belong to Z. They are integers and the denominators that is Q1, Q2 are not equal to 0. Right? These are the two elements. Now what about A plus B? Here my operation is plus. Okay, my operation is plus. A plus B is P1 by Q1 plus P2 by Q2. This is equal to, if I take LCM, Q1, Q2 is LCM. The first term becomes P1, Q2 plus P2, Q1. Now, P1 is an integer, Q2 is an integer. Therefore, this whole thing is an integer. P2 is an integer, Q1 is an integer. Therefore, this is also an integer. Now, this is an integer, this is an integer. Therefore, this plus this, again an integer. So, numerator is the integer. And denominator, Q1 is an integer, Q2 is an integer, therefore Q1 into Q2 again an integer, and Q1 is not equal to 0, Q2 is also not equal to 0, therefore Q1, Q2 is also not equal to 0. That is, this is of the form numerator integer, denominator also integer not equal to 0. Therefore, this is a rational number. That is, this belongs to Q. Okay. So that is closure law is satisfied. What about the associative law? Associative law. So here our operation is plus. This is always associative. No need to write again. Because addition in any manner you can add, you will get the same thing there. That is associative law is satisfied with respect to addition, or we say that addition is associative. And third one, identity. Identity. With respect to addition, we know that the identity is 0. So this operation is our usual addition. Therefore, with respect to our usual addition, 0 is the identity element. Just we have to verify whether 0 belongs to Q or not. Yes, 0 belongs to Q. So that is here. 0 can be written as 0 by anything here. Okay, 0 by anything, and this is not equal to 0. So this belongs to Q. So that is here. 0 belongs to Q is the identity element. So this is equal to E. E equal to 0 is the identity element. And about the inverse of A equal to P1 by Q1 is, we know that inverse of an element with respect to addition is minus of that element. That is here, this is a minus A is equal to minus P1 by Q1. Okay, this is the inverse of this, and this belongs to Q. Okay, this belongs to Q here. So for every P1 by Q1 in Q, there is an element minus P1 by Q1 in Q. And if I add these two elements here, we are getting it is equal to 0, the identity element. So therefore here, inverse of each element exists. Inverse of each element exists. So that is here now. If the four conditions are satisfied, therefore we can say that Q comma plus is a group. All the four axioms are satisfied. Therefore, Q comma plus is a group. Now, is this an abelian group? So that is for the fifth axiom. If A and B belongs to Q, then can I write A plus B equal to B plus A? Definitely we can write. Maybe rational number or irrational number. This commutative law depends on the operation, that is plus. In any manner you can add. I am getting A plus B equal to B plus A is satisfied. So therefore, Q comma plus is an abelian group. Okay, Q comma plus is an abelian group. Next example I will go for R comma plus. That is, R is a real number, set of the real numbers. R consisting of all rational, irrational, integers, everything is there. That is here, R is the set of real numbers with respect to addition. Second, we go by the same method here. First one, closure law. Okay, closure law. Suppose A and B belongs to R. Can I write A plus B also belongs to R? Definitely, because A is a real, B is a real, and their addition must be real. This belongs to R. Closure law is satisfied. And here associative law definitely holds because our operation is plus. That is here, A plus of B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. This is true for all A, B, C belongs to R. So that is here, associative law is also satisfied. And what about the identity? With respect to addition, the identity element is 0. Whether 0 belongs to R or not? Yes. 0 is a real number. This belongs to R. Is the identity. Okay. Identity. That is A plus 0 equal to 0 plus A equal to A. This is true for all A. Therefore, 0 is the identity element. And what about the inverse here? Inverse. Our operation is plus. If A belongs to R any element, then minus A is the inverse of A. So all the four conditions are satisfied here. What about the fifth condition? Fifth condition is also satisfied here. That is here commutative law holds. Commutative law. That is here A plus B is equal to B plus A is satisfied. This is true for all A and B belongs to R. So therefore here all the conditions are satisfied. All the 5 exams are satisfied. Therefore we say that R comma plus is abelian. This is abelian group. Okay, this is the abelian group. Okay, this is how we can verify that given set is a group or not. That just we have to verify the axioms, closure axiom, associative law, identity axiom, inverse axiom, and finally commutative law. Okay, if only two conditions are satisfied, that is first two, closure and associative satisfied, then you say that it is a semi group. Along with these two, if identity and inverse axiom is also satisfied, then you say that it is a group. And along with these four, if the fifth additional condition, that is commutative law holds, then you say that it is a abelian group. Okay, thank you. I'll stop here.